Hi, my name is Seela Beck, and you're the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I've been watching The Mandalorian, the latest episode of Mandalorian, the Heiress, Season 2, Episode 3, and I freaking love The Mandalorian. You know, I do. I absolutely, absurdly love it. I don't think it's a strong enough series to survive on its own merits, right? I think if it was, even though it's getting there now, I think with a little bit more lore, I think it's something that you would have to really fill out with like hour-long episodes as opposed to whatever these amorphous length episodes. But I think it really definitely trades on your love of Star Wars. So I understand, YouTubers like Nerdrotic, who I freaking love Nerdrotic, who's like, say, look, Star Wars is dead to me. You killed Star Wars, so that doesn't work anymore, and it just views it in its own right, and in its own right, it's not bad. But for me, there's still a spark to that love in there, clearly, because I'm freaking loving this show. So let's talk about before we get into the review. Can I ask you guys? Can you hit the subscribe button? That'd be fantastic. Thank you very much for subscribing. If you subscribe, other than making a rabbi very happy, which indeed you will do, I am telling you the truth, you'll make you might even make my a rabbi's wife very happy. I mean, like, that's a twofer. I think my wife. Yeah, honestly, she's not going to be very happy. I mean, she's not going to make her own happy, but I think she'll be happy that I'm happy. I don't think her happiness is dependent on this anyway. And there's a mistake I make. I make my happiness very dependent on your approval. And so if you can approve it by hitting the subscribe button, that'd be great. You can enter my weekly competitions. The prize is going to be given away on the 22nd of November. The Mummy DVD collection is the Mummy 1 and Mummy Returns. Not the crappy third one. Did they do a fourth one? I hope not. This is the Brendan Fraser Mummy, which is kind of like Indiana Jones with a bit more magic. A bit more magic and a lot less money. That's what it's like. So all you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. That's it, baby. Subscribe to the channel, and then in the comments leave the hashtag Imhotep. If you don't know about Imhotep, it's IMHOTEP. Or you can just look in the video notes down below. The video notes right down there, and they will tell you everything you need to do. Plus, you can just copy and paste the Imhotep into the comments. Fine. Let's talk about The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 3, the Heiress. So, firstly we start with a recap. This show is the mirror opposite of Discovery. When I see the recap on Discovery, I go, oh God, why are you reminding me of that? Oh, that's terrible. When I see the recap on Mandalorian, even things that weren't that great, I'm like, So last week's episode, which a lot of people complained for being like a filler episode, I think it was more of a side quest than a filler episode. Now just seems to be an organic part of the plot when you see how it fits in. And this episode is directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, which I'm really glad I didn't know going in. Because, look, last year she did the weakest episode, like the weakest episode by far, which is when Mandalorian was sort of like just up there with The Empire Strikes Back, and that kind of heights of greatness. It was like the best Star Wars. And then, without blinking, it went from that to like Caravan of Courage. Instant, like, what happened? And look, basically, it was Bryce Dallas Howard's episode, and she was just not up for it. She wasn't, she just wasn't good enough for it. That's the bottom line. She got the job purely out of nepotism. I read an interview with her today in SFX magazine, and she said, she said, look, can you just shadow you? And she was like, we shouldn't do this because it's nepotism, but she kind of got away with it. Talked to her. And you just got this weak subpar episode. But this one, oh my God, if that first one was training wheels, this one, she really knows what she's doing. And I think this is one of the best episodes. Certainly one of the most insanely enjoyable episodes. I think it's balanced very well. So it's 33 minutes long? And it did, just knocked it out of the park. I really think it knocked it out of the park. So anyway, you got the very damaged Razor Crest limping away, with the frog lady and Baby Yoda in the cockpit because the only thing they could pressurize. And they finally make it to the planet they're going to, Trask, right? Which is a water world, which is really, really cool. So we get lots of like the aquatic Star Wars aliens. We get the Mon Calamari, and we get like the starfish-headed dudes, that were from the canteen. I remember having an action figure of one in it was like 1978. One of those guys from the cantina. So they're all very aquatic. And I just like seeing Mon Calamari. I always do. And apparently, they're not the most reliable people in the world of mechanics and all. So he lands. They just get down to that landing pad. Fantastic special effects, by the way. Absolutely fantastic special effects, and I'm so glad this has a ridiculous budget. Like a budget you can do this kind of nut stuff. So it gets down, hovers, and they're just about to land, and then they miss. And they miss the landing pad, and they just drop into the ocean. So then they got this kind of like industrialized Imperial Walker type thing with a crane on it to lift it up and put it on put it in the on the dock, and they got to get it. They got to get it fixed up. Then we get this really, I think, really sweet moment. A sweet moment that, and I'm going to say this a few times in this episode. The balance between really good hardcore action and sweetness is just right. I think the sweetness was too much last week, and I think this one it just really hits that sweet spot. The sweetness hit the sweet spot when the frog girl, the frog mother, meets up with the frog husband, and then, again, listen, I didn't really like these characters much, but I was just really happy to see them reunite. I thought that was really, really nice. So Mando takes Baby Yoda to a diner because obviously there's not enough frog eggs to eat anymore. I'm very glad he didn't eat anymore. I think there's a little bit of growth about that as well this episode, which I think was nice. So it takes to this cafe, and we get a few gags about alien food, as it food's alive, climbs out, tries to eat Baby Yoda, and Mando stabs it. Apparently seating is very precious in this cafe because you got to be eating to sit there. He says, well, maybe I can buy information instead, and he gives him some money. To me, was that, I don't check in this stuff, I just vaguely remember with my vague memory, was that the Mon Calamari flan from this first season that Carl Weathers paid him with? I think I just remember seeing the Mon Calamari flan, so it looked like to be the same thing. And before you know it, Mando and Baby Yoda are on this boat with the starfish-headed alien things to find more Mandalorians, right? So plot moves on quite nicely, and of course, he's then ambushed and attacked for his Beskar armor. Listen, Mando, for being this incredible gunslinger, you would have thought you would be prepared for this because it seems to be happening every freaking week. Yeah, every week people are attacking you for your Beskar armor, your Beskar steel. So you should be a little bit more on guard. Again, listen, another sign that Bryce Dallas Howard is really pulled it together this episode. Kudos to her, because this incredible action sequence happens as Baby Yoda gets in his crib gets eaten by this giant sea monster, and Mando goes in after him. They have him caged in there, and it looks bad for Mando. I mean, Mando, again, look, just assume everyone's going to try and kill you for your Beskar still. Just assume that's going to happen. That's my advice to you. So again, great action sequence, and then the episode gets kicked into high gear as more Mandalorians arrived, jetting in, kick-ass Mandalorians, and then they take off their helmets, which we're going to talk about in a second, and it's Katie Sackhoff. It's actually Katie Sackhoff, and oh boy, those female Mandalorians look freaking hot. They look insanely hot. I do like the feminized armor. That accentuates their beauty, and just really works for me. Something I don't think you would see that so much in Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars. I think that they seem to be made a little bit for the male gaze, and this male was certainly gazing. I was very happy to gaze. So listen, I've only ever seen Clone Wars. I never saw Rebels. I believe she was in Rebels. I think she's replying the same role, I can't remember her name. Whatever, I'll call it Katie Sackhoff, you know what I'm talking about. But I know, I saw they got the insignia on the helmet. They realized that costume from animation to live action just seamlessly. I mean, absolutely seamlessly. It's almost made me want to go and watch Rebels, which just seems a little bit kiddie to me. I just wasn't that into it. I enjoyed Clone Wars. I enjoyed it a lot, and especially I enjoyed the Mandalorian Clone Wars episode. Okay, so now we really get into some interesting stuff about Mandalorian society, some nuance, something that you haven't really seen, some layers and nuance, something you haven't really seen in genre for quite some time, as well as, attractive women and attractive men, action, masculinity. These are things you haven't really seen in genre for quite a long time, but nuance as well. So we got the Mandalorians take off their helmets, and Amanda's like, well, where'd you get that armor from? Katie Sackle's like, this armor's 3 generations old. It was 3 generations old, bitch. What are you talking about? I am super Mandalorian. So it turns out that Mando is from this ultra orthodox Mandalorian sect that don't take off their helmets, right? So is this a prelude to explaining how Pedro Pascal can take off his helmet? Quite frankly, Pedro, you're very replaceable at present, and I think I would like you replaced. Quite frankly, you're a bit of a dick, and I love the show. You are a dark mark on it, and the problem with the show is Mandalorian doesn't take off his helmet. That makes it very hard for you to relate to him. Like you do latch onto these other characters in each episode, like you Timothy Oliphant from the first episode, and Katie Sackler. You latch onto these other characters, and they're much more relatable because of it. So anyway, But Mando's having none of it. Mando's like, you guys are just off. You're the heretics. He flies off. And then he gets attacked again by the brother of the guy who wanted to kill him for his Beskar still. Again, Mando, just assume everybody everywhere is always going to attack you. And if you find someone that's not like that, stay there. That's my advice. Stay there, become a farmer. I think that's probably what Boba Fett did. Just stay there, become a farmer. So he's attacked, but then he's saved again by Katie Sackle for like one more time, and so this makes him relent, and he will go for a drink. He go for a drink with the other Mandalorians. So Katie Sackhoff explains that she's the heiress of the title. I can't remember her name. Bon Clover, whatever. Who cares? And she's apparently the leader of Mandalore in exile, right? She's running this insurgent guerrilla campaign against the vestiges of the Empire. Yes, this is all freaking awesome. I love all this stuff, and I think it just really, really works so well. So she knows where Mando can find a Jedi. We'll find out at the end of the episode. But in exchange, she wants his help on a raid they're going to do on an Imperial supply ship, which is awesome and makes up the bulk of the remainder of the episode. But first, Mando drops off Baby Yoda by the Frog family, and again, this air of sweetness just totally works as one of these like eggs he was eating. One of the hatches, and a little baby tadpole comes out, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. I love it. And yeah, generally speaking, again, hats off to Bryce Dallas Howard, because she nailed it. She's got that real balance of hardcore, super cool action, and there's these very, very sweet little moments as well. And the balance is just perfect. I think the balance is perfect because it's 80% hardcore, butt-kicking action, and about 10-15% cuteness. So that kind of works for me. So the rest of the episode is about raiding this Imperial supply ship, and it's freaking awesome. Firstly, it's great to see old school Empire, stormtroopers. Not all dirted up, but being regular stormtroopers, Empire. So I really like that. I like the alarm sound. You heard that alarm sound in the background of the Death Star. That alarm sound. I like the uniform. I just all this stuff, and I think this is where Mandalorian is it cynically grabbing the heartstrings? I don't think so. I think it's grabbing Dave Filoni's and Jon Favreau's heartstrings. I think the love that you see for everything is very, very honest. And again, this makes it the mirror image, the dark mirror image of Discovery, where I just don't think they like Star Trek. Where they clearly love Star Wars. They really clearly love Star Wars. So we have this relentlessly awesome raid. The Mandalorians fly in to this launching Imperial ship, which is in lower orbit. They're starting to take off. The captain is played by a very familiar face, Titus Welliver. He's like this character actor who you've seen in freaking everything. He's seen in freaking everything, and he's good in everything. He was one of the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and one of the Marvel shorts that they used to put on the Blu-rays, right? But yeah, he's very, very, very good, and he's perfect in this role. Absolutely perfect. He was the man in black in Lost, if you remember. You can remember that far back. And listen, unlike most of the rest of I kind of like Lost, and I like the ending of it too. So I don't know what to tell you. So yeah, slowly but surely, we got the Mandalorians plowing through all these stormtroopers one by one, and again, freaking awesome. These stormtroopers are useless, and they make a joke about them being useless. They actually, it's actually a plot point. So how useless are they? They attack the cargo hold, and they manage to like close the door. Close the blasters, they managed to close the door before they get in, killing like I don't know, a dozen or so stormtroopers, and they talk to the cockpit, said, "Hey, we're okay, we got the door closed, but we need backup." And said, "Well, so where are they?" Said, "Oh, they're in the cargo bay control area," I think they said. And as they said that, I knew something was going to happen because poof, the door to the cargo bay door opens. All the bad guys are sucked out, and leaving the. Sucked out into lower atmosphere, leaving which seems to me a bit nastier than just shooting them in the firefight. I don't know why, but it just does. So it's leaving all the weapons able to be stolen by the Mandalorian. So then you have this really great scene with Katie Sackhoff where she double crosses Mando to a certain extent. Mando decided not to help steal the weapons, but now they said, "Oh, now we're going to steal the ship because we need it to." In our war against the vestige of the Empire, which again they're fighting for Mandalore. I understand he takes the helmets off, but they take the helmets off. But he's like, "Yeah, you're double crossing me, right?" And then Katie Sackhoff says the worst thing possible to Mando. She said, "I said, no, this wasn't the deal. You're changing the agreement of the deal because she says you're not going to help you. I'll find the Jedi unless you help me steal the ship." And he's like, "You're double crossing me," and she's like, "This is the way." And so that's the worst thing you can say, to use somebody's religion against them and in a perverted way. I mean, like that. So I can see Mando not being so happy about all this. So anyway, they get to the cockpit, and the captain's talking to Moff Gideon. What's his name? Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. Can't remember his name. Never mind. Just he's fantastic. Freaking love him. We saw him last year turn up with the Darksaber, and you knew something was going on because I remember the Darksaber being a big deal from those Mandalorian episodes of Clone Wars. So yeah, he appears to be pretty darn powerful with the Remnant of the Empire, and he orders them to crash the ship so they don't take it. And the captain's like, "Yeah, okay." He shoots the other the pilots, and then starts crashing the ship. So Mando manages to get into the cockpit by blowing them up with a grenade. The stormtroopers are defending up with grenade. They get in the cockpit, and they manage to pull it out of its death spiral that they put it on. Again, freaking awesome special effects. Loving the budget for this. I just love the budget they put into this. So at the same time, we get a bit of Darksaber intrigue as she tries to get information about where it is from the captain, right? And she knows it's with Moff Gideon. And so she's trying to get information out of him, but he then kills himself with a suicide tooth, not a cyanide one, like lets a little bomb off in his head. Suicide tooth, so she can't get the information out of it. So they capture the ship. They got it, and Katie Sackhoff offers Mando to join them. And I'm like, Mando, I know she just dissed the religion, but please take it. Take that offer. That's gonna be freaking awesome. In fact, Disney Plus. Really, don't you want to see a movie, a Star Wars movie of the Mandalorians fighting off the Imperial insurgent, the vestiges of the Empire from Mandalore, with the Mandalorian in it and with Katie there? Don't you want to see that movie? I want to see that movie. That movie sounds freaking awesome. Please, Disney Plus, go ahead and make that. I will continue to subscribe rather than just for these 8 weeks. You could do more stuff. We would all love this. But okay, so he's like, no, I'm not joining. I have this mission, and I think he's royally honked off by the "this is the way" comment. Right, so he flies off, and she tells him that the Jedi she's looking for on a forest world is, of course, Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka Tano is coming back next weekend. It's been heavily reported. And again, I have really no idea what happened to the character after Clone Wars. Apparently, she was in Rebels as a spy or something. I do not know. But again, I think Rosario Dawson seems like good casting. I'm interested to see what's happened to this character, where they are after the events of Star Wars, and what connection she has to the Jedi and the Force, because didn't have much of a one by the end of Clone Wars. She left her lightsabers on that last one, which I really liked. Yeah, Darth Vader, fighting a lightsaber and like looking at it wistfully at the end. So again, I never saw Rebels. Did she have her lightsabers in Rebels? I genuinely don't know. So right now I am just super excited for the next episode and to see her, because on the strength of what we've seen thus far, especially with bringing characters from cartoon, from Clone Wars into live action, it's been freaking perfect. And I'm on board. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with it. So in with this other really cute scene with Baby Yoda's playing with like the baby tadpole, and Ando comes to pick her up, and he's like, oh, I want to play with the baby, and I just like it. I just like it a lot. So Mando and Baby Yoda are off to the forest world, which I guess means Northern California, right? They're off to Northern California to find Ahsoka Tano and continue their quest, and I'm just freaking loving this. I'm loving it. This is the way. My name is Sheila Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.